Ever catch yourself glancing over your shoulder in a quiet room, wondering if the walls hold more than memories? If the air thickens with the residue of screams long silenced? That knot in your gut when a story feels too close to home? Too possible? What if those nightmares aren't just tales, but stains on the map of America, seeping through the cracks of history? These 4 terrifying true crime nightmares will grip your throat, forcing you to confront the monsters that wore human skins and haunted houses that hungered for more. Welcome once more to America's horror tape, the reel that rewinds the veil on the unspeakable. I'm your shadowed narrator, and tonight, we're plunging into 4 American atrocities that didn't just claim lives. They cursed legacies, spawning obsessions that devour minds decades later. These aren't polished Hollywood chills. They're the raw, rotting underbelly of true crime, where evidence mocks us and ghosts demand retelling. The horror? It's in the intimacy. A starlet's severed smile in sunny LA, a ciphered taunt from the Bay fog, a family's possession in suburban sprawl, an axeman's rampage in heartland silence. Ground this terror in grim stats. The U.S. tallies over 18,000 homicides yearly, a crimson ledger of the lost. But these 4, they transcend numbers. Icons of the inexplicable, fueling YouTube marathons and midnight scrolls, racking millions of views as we chase closure in the chaos. Over 70% of true crime viewers crave the unsolved or supernatural twist, hooked on that dopamine hit of dread. What drives it? The mirror we hold up. Could it happen here? To us? Envision it. Your front door creaking open to a bisected body, a postcard cipher on your doorstep, demonic growls from the basement, an intruder who leaves no prints but rivers of blood. Tonight's quartet. A Hollywood hopeful carved into legend by a sadist's blade, a phantom slayer whose riddles outlived his spree, a Long Island dream home twisted into hell's suburb, and an Iowa farmhouse where 8 souls met the axe in their sleep. These stories don't fade, they ferment, viral venom for the digital age. Buckle in. These nightmares bite back. Lights low, faith high, and let's unseal the files. But fair warning. Some doors, once cracked, let the dark linger. The Black Dahlia, Hollywood's gruesome muse. It's the winter of 1947, and Los Angeles pulses with post-war promise. The city of angels, where dreams glitter under Klieg lights and starlets trade virtue for close-ups. Tinseltown's underbelly festers, though. Speakeasies slinging hooch to has-beens, casting couches creaking under desperate weights. Enter Elizabeth Short, 22, raven-haired beauty with a smile that could crack celluloid, chasing stardom from Massachusetts' frost to California's haze. The Black Dahlia, they dub her later, not for the flower, but the black sheath she favored, the bloom of blood that would immortalize her in infamy. Beth, as intimates called her, wasn't green. She'd bounced from Boston to Florida, collecting heartbreaks and half-promises. A failed marriage at 16, a GI's fleeting vow, gigs as a B-girl in dive bars where tips came sticky with strings. By 46, LA swallowed her whole, waitressing at Camp Cook, crashing on couches, dialing operators for party lines that led to dead ends. Her last known haunt, the Biltmore Hotel, January 9, 1947. Witnesses peg her in the lobby, dolled in that signature black, chatting up a brunette beau, dark suit, sharp features, the kind who vanishes into crowds. Heading to a gig, she purred, or so the story spins, then poof, swallowed by the night. 6 days later, January 15th, a routine beat. Officer W.H. Billy Hansen cruises the idle lots of 39th and Norton, weeds clawing at his cruiser. Dawn's gray pallor reveals it. Not trash, not a mannequin. A woman's naked form, bisected at the waist, drained pale as marble, mouth slashed ear to ear in a Glasgow grin. No blood at the scene. She'd been scrubbed, posed like a marionette mid-ballet, one hand clutching her own dark locks. The press frenzy ignites. The werewolf, screams the Herald Express. Tips flood in over 60 confessions, each wilder than the last. But the Dahlia? Her autopsy chills the coroner's ink. Rope burns on wrists and ankles, uterus carved out, body incised with surgical precision, frontal hemispherectomy, lungs gashed, a ritual reek of the Ripper. LAPD's finest swarm. Detectives Finest Brown and Harry Hansen, chain-smoking through alibis. Beth's father? Cleared, the deadbeat who'd faked his obit for insurance. Boyfriends? A parade of phonies, from the married dentist to the shadowy Robert Red Manley. Her last ride from San Diego. Sweaty palms, but prints clean. The Black Dahlia Avenger letters arrive. Taunting missives in newsprint cutouts. One with Beth's birth cert and shoes. Postmarked mailed from a killer who toyed like a cat with gutted canaries. Here is Dahlia's belongings. It mocked. Letter to follow. Ciphers? None cracked. Suspects? A gallery of grotesques. George Hodel, the syphilitic surgeon with a Dahlia-like dummy in his Hollywood manse. Leslie Dillon, the bellhop poet with a morgue fascination. Even Orson Welles, whispered for his bisecting magic tricks. The Dragnet drags. House to house in CD flops, polygraphs on pimps, even a vagabond orchestra of transients grilled for alibis. Beth's sisters fly in, fingering photos with trembling hands. No matches. Months bleed into years. The case file swells to 150 volumes. A tome of torment. Hodel's wiretaps in 50 catch him crooning Dahlia's theme from the Blue Dahlia, eerie, but circumstantial. Dillon sues the PD for slander, walks free. By 49, leads ossify, the Avengers' final postcard. Have changed my mind. You would not give me a square deal. Dahlia killing and others unsolved. Plural, implying a spree? Decades devour the trail, but the Dahlia blooms eternal. Book stack. Steve Hodel's opus fingers his dad as a genius sadist, tying threads to the Cleveland torso murders. Podcast's Pulse. Root of All Evil revives the Hodel angle in 2019. DNA Whispers and Proven. Hollywood Feasts. 2000 SAXS fictional flick. But the real horror? Beth Short, aspiring starlet reduced to spectacle. Her sister Faye. She wanted glamour, not this. LA's sidewalks still echo her heels. Tourists snap selfies at the lot, oblivious to the ground's grudge. What blade kissed her last? A surgeon's scalpel, a lover's rage, or the city's own jealous bite? As neon flickers on sunset, remember, in the land of make-believe, some stories bleed true and never clot. The Zodiac Killer. Ciphered Shadows of the Bay. Trade LA's glamour gore for the chill fog of San Francisco, 1968. A city of flower power and free love, where hate-ashberry blooms amid Vietnam's shadow. Beneath the peace signs, predators prowl. The Zodiac, a faceless fiend who didn't just kill. He courted the press. His spree a symphony of sadism scripted for headlines. 7 confirmed strikes, 2 survivors, 37 claimed, his trophy tally, etched in ego. But the true nightmare? The riddles he left, mocking detectives like a god toying with ants. It ignites July 4th weekend, Lake Herman Road. A rural lover's lane south of Vallejo, firecrackers popping like distant gunfire. Darlene Farron, 22, parked with her date Mike Mageau, 19, in her blue Valiant. Headlights flare. A crew-cut man in glasses, approaching casual. Hey, you left your wallet. He lies, before unleashing .22 fury. 5 shots, glass shattering like brittle vows. Darlene slumps dead. Mike, gut shot, staggers to a payphone. I'm shot. They're coming back. Code 211 sirens wail. The shooter? Melted into the mist. 5 months hibernate, then ignite. December 20th, Blue Rock Springs. Another Vallejo lane. Lovers Betty Lou Jensen, 16, and David Faraday, 17, in David's Rambler. Same playbook. Approaching shadow, .22 chatter. 10 rounds, Betty fleeing 30 yards before falling. David plugged mid-defiance. Footprints flee, tire marks from a light sedan. Chaos converges. Paul Stein, 29, a cabbie, October 11th, 1969. Shot point blank in Presidio Heights. Wallet snatched. A bloody swatch of shirt mailed later as proof. Witnesses. A black teen sketching the killer. Stocky, 40s executioner hood? No. The Zodiac's mask. A cross-circle sigil from the Mikado. The letters land like bombs. August 1st, 1969. 3 Bay Area rags get a manifesto. This is the Zodiac speaking, with a cipher grid, taunting, "I like killing people because it is so much fun." The 408-symbol cryptogram cracks in a week. "I will not give you my name. Killing people is so fun. By the way, have you solved my 340? Envelope stuffed with bloody shirt bits. Maps marked for bombs that never bloom. The 340? Dormant till 2020, when codebreakers David Oranchak and team unravel it. I hope you are having lots of fun. I am not afraid. My killing power is now has a bloodthirsty tab. Ego incarnate." SFPD's Dave Tashi Chainsmokes leads. Suspects paraded. Arthur Lee Allen, the Prime Phantom, a convicted child molester with Zodiac watch, .22 shells matching, even a Jike search in his basement, killer's slang for prey. But alibis hold, prints mismatch. Lake Berryessa, September 27, 1969. Cecilia Shepard, 22, and Brian Hartnell, 20, picnicking at Napa's Lake. Hooded assailant in black, cross-circle apron, knife-plunging ritual. "I'm going to wipe out a school bus." He binds them, stabs 10 times each. Brian survives, IDing the voice is calm, rehearsed. Shepard dies whispering Brian's name. The spree sputters. No more bodies, but letters persist. 71's Exorcist, button taunt. 78's Red Phantom, phantom letter to Dirty Harry, unposted. Over 2,500 suspects grilled. Ciphers hoarded like holy relics. Allen dies 96, uncharged. His cipher key? AIN. Anagram for Lee Allen. DNA from stamps? Partial, inconclusive. Podcasts resurrect. Case file episodes rack millions. Casebreakers claim Gary Post in 21. FBI shrugs. The Zodiac? A ghost in the machine, his crosshair on every fogged window. What devours here? Not the kills, the courtship. A killer who craved audience, turning terror into theater. Hartnell, scarred survivor. He wanted fame more than blood. As Golden Gate fog rolls eternal, Cypher's unsolved whisper. Who's next on the list? In the Bay's embrace, some shadows cipher their own end. The Amityville Horror. Suburban demons unleashed. From the Zodiac's cryptic bay, warp to Long Island's manicured maze, 1974. A slice of the American pie, where split levels promise picket fences and PDA bliss. The DeFeo family. Big Ronnie, 23, a hulking Vietnam vet with a heroin habit and hair-trigger rage. His parents, Louise and Ron Sr. Siblings Dawn, Allison, Mark, and John, 9, tangled in dysfunction's web. 112 Ocean Avenue, a Dutch colonial on the canal. Stately, but simmering. November 13th, 1974. Dawn breaks bloodied. Ronnie staggers into the Wantagh Parkway bar, gun in hand, wild-eyed. I killed 'em all. Cops race. The DeFeos sprawled in sleepwear, execution style. Shot prone. No struggle, blood congealing cold. Louise first, .35 Magnum to the brain. Ron Sr. beside her. The kids lined up upstairs, youngest John clutching sheets like a shield. No forced entry, no screams. Silence as the shot. Ronnie's tale unravels. Voices, demonic directives. Kill or be killed. He drags bodies to the boat. Dumps them? No, autopsies clock TOD at 3:15 a.m. All facing east, wounds powder burn free. Accomplices? Dawn fingered, but cleared. Ronnie convicted solo, 6 counts, 150 to life. Enter the Lutzes, George and Kathy, married with 3 kids. Kathy's kids from prior, Gregory 14, Amy 12, Danny 10. December 75, they buy the bloodied bargain. $80K, furnishings gratis. Who wants the DeFeo couch? First night, December 18th. Doors slamming, marigolds wilting. A pig-eyed demon grinning from the hall. Father Mancuso blesses. Hears, "Get out!" Flees, hemorrhaging. The siege escalates. Kathy levitates in bed, eyes black as pitch. George wakes to Kathy's form as 90-year-old crone, cackling. Danny's spectral pal Jody, a flying pig boy, warns of doom. Swarms of flies in winter, slime oozing walls. A demonic choir chanting Latin obscenities. 28 days in, they bolt, crosses inverted, $1,400 in slime-ruined cash left behind. Exorcism, priest's balk. The Lutzes spill to clairvoyant Ed and Lorraine Warren, who probe, Highgate-level haunting. Ed declares, sensing native burial ground taint. Shinnecock legends of evil spirit Hatchet Man, chained there in 1700s. Seances summon. Ronnie's voice, "He made me do it." The entity, a 16th century butcher or the devil's pawn. Book drops 77. Jay Anson's The Amityville Horror, a bestseller. Taffy's film 80, James Brolin fleeing green slime. $100M gross, sequel spawning. Skeptic Savage. Lutz is sued for fraud by stepson. Ronnie recants possession in 88 interview. "I did it for insurance." But anomalies linger. DeFeo shots precision defies lone gunman. Lutz's priest logs corroborate voices. Warren's tapes hiss with EVPs. Get out. Kill. 2017 doc My Amityville Horror. Daniel Lutz, now grown, swears slime and levitation's real. Scars from Jody's claws. The house? Repainted 108, sold thrice, tourists gawk. Neighbors curse the glare. What possessed 112? Land's grudge? Ronnie's rage amplified? Or hell's foothold in Suburbia? The chill? It colonized pop culture. Millions stream the screams, chasing that primal what if. As Ocean Avenue slumbers, windows wink black. Demons don't die. They divide and conquer. Like the Villisca Axe Murders. Heartland's sleepless slaughter. From Amityville spectral sprawl, trek to the Corn Belt's cradle, Iowa 1912, where Model TS rumble past one-room schools and revival tents throb with gospel fire. Villisca. A whistle-stop of 2,000, Methodists and Masons mingling in Sunday finery. June 9th, Sunday, Josiah Moore, 36, implement dealer with a handshake like iron. Wife Sarah, 39, pillar of the Ladies' Aid. Kids Herman 11, Catherine 10, Boyd 7, Paul 2. Sunday guests Ina 8 and Lena Stillwell, orphans boarding for the sermon. After church potluck, the Moore home hums. Kids to bed by 9 p.m., Josiah and Sarah retiring post-prayers. By dawn, silence screams. Monday, June 10th, neighbor Mary Peck knocks, no answer. Peering through lace. Josiah's glasses folded neat on the sill, a meat cleaver, headless, blood-crusted, propped like a bookmark. Panic summons. Sheriff Hank Horton kicks in the door. The tableau? Biblical carnage. Josiah downstairs, skull caved by 6 blows, brains pulped on the sofa. Sarah beside, face cleaved to bone. Upstairs, the kids' room a charnel house, Herman and Catherine in one bed, slabs hacked mid-slumber. Boys Boyd and Paul in another, tiny forms mangled. Girls' guest room. Ina and Lena, dresses hiked modest, throats slit pre-axe, faces smashed to anonymity. All 8, bludgeoned in sleep. No cries, no flight. Windows latched, doors locked from inside. Blood pooled cold. Perps lingered, perhaps hours, in the reek. The inquest ignites. Slabs of bacon wrapped in more parlor paper found in a privy eater's leavings? Footprints? None but locals. Suspects swarm. Reverend Lynn Kelly, a drifter preaching blood atonement. Seen lurking with a valise. His hotel alibi cracks under trance claims. God told me to kill. Henry Moore, Josiah's vagrant brother. Axe mad in Kansas sprees. Prince T's match, but fades. Will Frank Jones, rival businessman, grudge-fueled. Josiah stole my shine. And the Welsh immigrant? No, the transient George Paxton, or the impotent Frank F. Jones hired hit. Autopsies whisper ritual. blows from behind, as if prayer posed. A slab of bacon in every gut? No urban myth, but the oil lamp lit low, curtains drawn, suggests a watcher in the works. Iowa's finest flail. Bloodhounds bay false trails. Mediums summon spirits. Reverend did it. Trials tumble. Kelly's 1917 acquittal after hung jury. Jones' civil suit flops. The house? Cursed commodity, rented to ghost hunters. A 1914 seance conjures moans. 1994 restoration. Paranormal probes catch EVP's Mama Axe. Axe's swing solo on film. 2014's Ghost Adventures episode racks views. Shadows of children in thermals. Owners flee. The energy devours. What blade fell that night? Jealousy, madness, or Villisca's vein of violence? Echoing 1911's similar slaughters in Colorado, Illinois, the heartland horror endures. Annual reenactments draw thousands. The house of B&B for the brave. $4.28 a night to sleep with ghosts. Survivor? None but echoes. Josiah's kin. Justice? It's in heaven. As Iowa winds moan through eaves, axes rust but grudges gleam. In the breadbasket, some hungers never sate. Echoes from the abyss. There they stand, for pillars of American dread. Elizabeth Short, the Dahlia bisected into myth. The Zodiac, Riddler whose ciphers cipher chaos. The Lutz's Amityville, where Suburbia summoned the pit. Villisca's moors, axed in piety's pose. Threads of terror bind. Precision perps who pose their prey. Taunts transcending graves. Hauntings that hitch to headlines. Murders that mock forensics. Possessions defying priests. Each a viral vortex. Millions mesmerized by the why that withers away. The human scar? Profound as the wounds. Short sisters, forever Dahlia's shadow. Zodiac survivors like Hartnell, therapy's endless loop. Lutz's splintered by skepticism, faith fractured. Villisca villagers, church pews echoing empty. Communities curdle. LA's starlets eye alleys wary. SF fog hides hoods. Long Island homes shun 112's shadow. Iowa farms bolt tighter. These aren't tallies, they're contagions, infecting airwaves with what-ifs that spawn sequels. Scrolls, sleepless nights. So what abyss echoed these atrocities? Surgical spite in Tinseltown? A killer's cryptogram cult? Demonic deeds in dream homes? Or the Axeman's anonymous apocalypse? Spill in comments. Zodiac's true face? Amityville's real entity? Like if the chills claimed you. Subscribe for more nightmare reels. Next. Cursed artifacts from the heartland. Share the shiver. Who knows what lurks in your hall? Rest uneasy. The night remembers.